Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night from where or when you're watching this video. We continue to create the pharmacy management system, and in today's video we try to give life to our dashboard. By this I mean have it with the real data from the database. This is part 10 of how to create a pharmacy management system. So if this is the first time you're watching this, I would recommend you to watch the other videos before you watch this. Special shout outs to all those who have subscribed to IT's Skills Academy and turned on notifications. If you're new here and you enjoy the content and would like more in future, kindly consider subscribing. I'm now adding a new video to this, how to create a pharmacy management system series every Tuesday of the week. That out of the way, let's get started. Well, first and foremost, we get the company's business here from the info table. So here I write the PHP script that will help us to fetch the same. Now next we fetch the business medicine sales. So again, I like the PHP script that will help us to fetch the same. Now that we have successfully fetched the medicine sales, next we want to be able to fetch the medicine count. Like we want to know how many drugs we have in the database. And so again, I like the PHP script that will help us to count the drugs that we have in our database, and that will be increasing as long as we add drugs into the database. Now, so far so good. Now we want to be able to have the count of all the expired drugs that we have in our store. This is a bit tricky. So first of all, I want to be able to get the expiry date of the drugs, and that will now help me to be able to know if the drugs are expired or not. So here I made a mistake. I only came to realize that later. So first of all, here you want to be able to get the current date, so that now you can be able to match that with the expiry date of the drug. And so if the medicine expiry date is less than the current date, then we assume that that drug is expired. So I'll be writing a PHP script that will help us to get the current date. Although I didn't do it in this instant, I'll just be doing it later in a second, and I would want you to fix that in this part here. How you ought to do it, or how you can do it, is first of all get the expiry date of the drug. I have the today's or the current date, and then now after that you can now be able to have the count of the drugs which date is less than the current date. So that is how you should have it. I didn't do it as I've said in this part, so as I've explained, I would want you to fix it as such, although that is just one of the ways that you can be able to do that. So first of all, get the expiry date of the drug, have the PHP script that will help you get the today's date, and then now to be able to have the count of the expired drugs, you can just write the PHP script that will help you to count the number of drugs whose date is less than the current date. Great. Now we want to be able to fetch the company's opening balance. So I will be using this PHP script that will help us to collect data from the database, and I'll just modify it a little bit just to save time. now we want to be able to get the account payable. So this is the debt that we owe to our suppliers. So again, I like the PHP script that will help us to get the account payable. And finally, we want to be able to get the count of the transactions that the company has transacted in a given day. So here is where we want to, or here is where we'll be writing the PHP script that will help us to get the today's date, so that now we can be able to fetch the data or the transactions from the database where the date is equal to today's or the current date. Well, I made a mistake here where I'm having the variable drag underscore expiry underscore date. What we should have here is the today's date. So I'll be writing the PHP script that will help us to get the today's date, and I will store that in a variable, and that is the variable that we should have instead of the drag underscore expiry underscore date. So as you can see from the screen, we're having the error there. That is because we have the long variable, that is the drag underscore expiry underscore date, and so we want to be able to fix that right now. And so now I write the PHP script that will help us to get the current date. I've been promising this every moment. So this is the PHP script that will help us to get the today's date that we can use to be able to collect the transactions that have been performed in a given day. Well, and that's it for this short video. In our next video, we'll be getting the patients so that we can be able to attend to them.